A promise whispered in the lean years of youth is a seed. It's planted in the fertile ground of hope, watered by shared struggle, and warmed by the sun of mutual dreams. Does it blossom into a great tree offering shelter? Or does it wither and die, forgotten in the soil of a changed heart? This is the story of such a promise, made long ago under the sprawling branches of an old oak tree by three young men whose futures were as unwritten as the sky above them. Their names were Elias, Marcus, and Julian. In the small, windswept town of their birth, they were inseparable, three threads woven into a single cord of friendship. Elias was the thinker, his mind always reaching for the horizon. Marcus was the pragmatist, his eyes fixed on the practical steps of the world. And Julian was the artist, his heart full of a quiet, unassuming kindness that saw beauty in the humblest of things. Their pockets were often empty, but their spirits were rich with the camaraderie that only comes from sharing the last slice of bread and the wildest of dreams. It was on one crisp autumn evening, with the leaves turning to gold around them, that they made their pact. They swore that whichever one of them first found success in the wide world beyond their town, he would reach back and extend a hand to lift the others, ensuring that no one was left behind in the shadows of their shared past. Years spun by like thread from a spindle, and the world pulled the three friends in different directions. Elias, with his keen intellect and unwavering integrity, found his way to the capital. Through diligence and wisdom, he rose through the ranks of the judiciary, eventually becoming a respected and influential magistrate. He lived in a fine house, wore distinguished robes, and his counsel was sought by the city's most powerful figures. Yet, amidst the comfort and prestige, the memory of the promise made under the old oak tree never faded. It was a gentle but persistent echo in the quiet chambers of his heart. He had heard whispers on the wind about his old friends. Marcus, it was said, had become a tremendously wealthy merchant, his ships sailing to distant lands. Julian, however, was rumored to be struggling, his gentle artist's soul ill-suited to the harsh realities of commerce. A deep yearning to see them again took hold of Elias. But he was a wise man, one who understood that wealth could build walls as easily as it could build bridges. He did not want to arrive in a grand carriage, a spectacle of success that might intimidate or create a sense of obligation. He wanted to test the seed of their promise not with the rain of his fortune, but with the simple sunlight of his presence. He wanted to know if the friendship they had forged in poverty could survive the complexities of wealth. So, he shed his magistrate's robes, donned the simple, worn cloak of a common traveler, and set out on foot, his heart a mix of hope and trepidation. His first destination was the bustling port city, where Marcus had made his name. The city itself was a testament to wealth, with stone-paved streets and towering warehouses bearing Marcus's insignia. Elias found his friend's home with ease. It was a veritable mansion of white stone and glass, set upon a hill overlooking the sea, with manicured gardens that seemed to mock the wild, untamed nature they had once loved. A stern-faced servant answered the door, looking down his nose at Elias's dusty cloak and worn boots. When Elias asked to see the master of the house, the servant scoffed, but Marcus himself, having overheard the voice, appeared in the doorway. For a fleeting moment, a flicker of genuine recognition lit up Marcus's eyes, but it was extinguished as quickly as it appeared, replaced by a cool, calculating assessment. He saw not his childhood friend, but a potential liability, a specter from a past he had worked hard to leave behind. He invited Elias in, but not to the grand, tapestry-lined halls. He led him to a small, cold antechamber near the servants' quarters. "Elias," Marcus began, his voice lacking any real warmth. "It is a surprise to see you. Times are hard, you know. The markets are cruel, and my ventures have been difficult." He gestured around the small, bare room as if it were his entire world, a performance of poverty within a palace of plenty. He spoke of failed shipments and crushing taxes, his words a carefully constructed wall to preempt any request for aid. He offered Elias a meal, but it was a deliberate insult. A bowl of thin, watery soup and a piece of stale bread, served on a chipped ceramic plate. As Elias ate the meager fare, he could hear the distant sounds of a lavish feast being prepared in another part of the house. The chill he felt had nothing to do with the stone walls around him. It came from the frozen landscape of his friend's heart. He saw that Marcus had built a fortress around his fortune, and in doing so, had imprisoned his own spirit. Disappointed and saddened, Elias thanked him for his hollow hospitality and departed, the promise now feeling like a broken shard of glass in his memory. With a heavier heart, he continued his journey to the quiet countryside where Julian lived. He found his friend in a small, crooked cottage at the edge of a wood, with a humble garden and a roof that sagged with age. It was a picture of true poverty, yet there was a warmth to it that Marcus's mansion had sorely lacked. Julian was in the garden, tending to his small patch of vegetables, when he looked up and saw the approaching figure. There was no hesitation, no calculation. His face broke into a radiant smile of pure, unadulterated joy. He dropped his tools and ran, closing the distance between them and embracing Elias in a hug that spoke of years of missed companionship. "Elias, is it truly you?" he cried, his voice thick with emotion. He called for his wife, Clara, a woman with kind eyes and a gentle grace that poverty had not diminished. They welcomed Elias into their small, clean home as if he were a long-lost king. The cottage was sparse, the furniture old and mended, but it was filled with an unmistakable love. As they sat and talked, sharing stories of the intervening years, Elias could see the shame in Julian's eyes. "I am sorry, my friend," Julian said, his voice low. "I have so little to offer you. We have not seen meat in a month, and the larder is nearly bare." Elias assured him that his presence was the only feast he required, but he noticed Clara quietly slip out of the cottage. An hour later, she returned. In her hands was a basket filled with fresh bread, a round of cheese, a small roasted chicken, and a bottle of wine. A modest feast, but one that seemed a miracle given their circumstances. As she set the table, a smile on her face, Elias noticed something was different. Her hair, which had been her one vanity, a cascade of thick, dark silk that fell to her waist, was gone. It had been cut short, crudely and unevenly. The realization struck Elias like a bolt of lightning. She had sold her beautiful hair, the only thing of value she possessed, to buy a proper meal for a guest, for her husband's friend. In that moment, Elias understood the nature of true wealth. It wasn't in Marcus's overflowing coffers or his fleet of ships. It was here, in this humble cottage, in an act of sacrifice so profound and selfless, it brought tears to his eyes. He ate the meal with them, his heart overflowing with a gratitude and admiration too deep for words. He saw that Julian and Clara, who had nothing, were willing to give everything for the sake of friendship and hospitality. The next morning, as he prepared to leave, Elias embraced Julian and Clara, his thanks genuine and heartfelt. He waited until they were busy in the garden. Then he slipped back into the small room where he had slept. Beneath the thin pillow on his cot, he placed a heavy leather pouch filled with enough gold to change their lives forever. Tucked inside was a simple note that read, "For the truest wealth I have ever seen, go and build your dream." He walked away without looking back, his spirit renewed, his faith in the seed of a promise restored. Julian and Clara discovered the gift, and with tears of disbelief and gratitude, they honored its intent. They did not spend it on fleeting luxuries. Julian, the gifted artist, used the money to open a workshop. He crafted beautiful furniture from the wood he knew so well, his innate kindness and integrity infused in every piece. His reputation grew, and their small workshop blossomed into a thriving business. They became prosperous, their cottage replaced by a comfortable home, but their hearts never changed. Their door remained forever open, and their table was always set for any traveler or neighbor in need. They had learned from poverty what Marcus had forgotten in wealth, that the value of money is measured only by the good it can do and the love it can share. And so, the story of the three friends and their promise serves as a timeless lesson. Some, like Marcus, gain the world, but lose their soul, their wealth becoming a gilded cage. But others, like Julian, discover that true prosperity is not something you acquire, but something you cultivate within. It is built not of gold and silver, but of compassion, loyalty, and sacrifice. For a promise is not a chain of gold that binds you to an obligation, but a living thread of the heart. It is tested not by what you have, but by what you are willing to give. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If it resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one.